Got the miles per gallon key. I guess you call that a keychain.
Yeah, or key tag, however you say it.
Alright, let's do this. So what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today we are in a 1994 Mustang GT 5.0, and that does not sound good.
Not at all.
And we are in an SN95, and the special thing about this car, besides the color is a grabber blue, which came out in 2010, and to the current Coyote Mustangs and V6s and all that good jazz. This is the Mustang that, the body style that everybody hates or loves. This is right after, so the Fox body was 1979 to 1993. Then Ford had the idea to where they were kind of, for I think a couple years, they were contemplating whether to get rid of the Fox, get rid of the Mustang overall, and they were moving kind of towards the Mazda Probe. So I think during that time Ford bought Mazda, and they wanted to kind of, I guess, get into the tuner world, and they were just about to get rid of the Mustang. Well, a lot of people petitioned and didn't like that. They were like, really, Ford, you know, you're gonna give away an iconic car for something that, you know, something new that didn't even really sell that well. I think they only sold for maybe near 8 to 10 years, if that. As kind of a whole, it shows right there what kind of, you know, how iconic the Mustang is. So when 94 released this car, they still had the 5.0, the 302 pushrod motor in this car. And everyone was kind of up in arms about it. They're like, you know, do I like this body style? Do I not? They were kind of the same way that they were when the Fox body first came out in '79. People were like, what did you do? Is this thing an import car? With the curves and the lines and how the body was just so round. It was more the darker ages through Ford, and I think that they were trying to figure out, you know, what kind of company they were at that time too. Now, the mods done to this car that we'll have on is a cold air intake. It is a 5.0 motor, 302 pushrod, like I said, out of a Fox body still, and it has a off-road H-pipe by BBK and a set of Fluidmaster mufflers, which sounds really damn good with this car. And to set it off, it has the bullet style wheels. Now, you can find bullet style wheels on practically any Mustang, any generation, and this car is an automatic. Now, the 94 to 95 is also special because of the taillights. Ford kind of had that, like, I guess you would say 99 to 01 Cobra taillights because they're really rare. And these things sell for a pretty penny, a couple like $400, $500 even. I've even seen them higher than that. You gotta love that 5.0 sound. I mean, it's not the new Coyote sound, but I love that Ford, you know, is still stuck with this to this body style. The 5.0 is the iconic motor, you know, everyone knows about the Mustang, but so they only stuck with this motor through 94, 95. In 96, Ford introduced the modular 4.6 motor, and that carried all the way to 2010. And what people might not know is, even though the Coyote body style from 2010 looks like a Coyote, it looks like the 11 to 12 ones, it actually has a 4.6. Now, this 5.0 puts out about 215 horsepower and about 280-85 foot-pounds of torque. And with the V6 of course put out maybe 180-ish, maybe, if that, and then you had the Cobra. The Cobra put out about 30 to about 35, 40 more horsepower. But when you look at this car, you're like, you know, Ford, what were you thinking? I think Ford did it very well by, from 94 to 04, when you got to 99, they revamped the styling to the new edge, what I like. Now, my first Mustang was the 97, what I learned to drive a manual on. And I know what this body style is like, I know what it's about. Is it my favorite? No. Do I like it? Yes. You can mod these very well to where they fit and look super clean. I mean, Cedric, who's letting me drive his car for this review, and I do thank him for letting me do that, he set this car off right just alone with the color. I mean, Grabber Blue, I don't know why Ford didn't introduce the color way back then, but it's a very great iconic color, and people love this color. I mean, you can recognize it on the GT350, you can recognize it on Smurf, who's a very iconic Coyote car, David Patterson, who's a YouTuber, and it just really fits into very well, and the guy that did the painting on this car actually did a very good job.
Shout out to Gary Shell.
There you go. So being in this kind of like this interior, I'm used to it. I had this interior, just not this color. So 94 to 04 have all the same interior, except for if you have a Mach 1 or a Cobra or something, you have like the white face gauges and you have the different seats. But the Cobra seats and the Mach 1 seats are the most desired after that. And just with the interior, Ford kind of hit or miss. It's, it's like their darker age. It was really cheap, and it was just, pre-Ford dark age eras. But that still doesn't mean that you should look down on this body style. Like I was saying, there's so much aftermarket out there for these cars that you can do so much with this, interior and exterior wise. There's a very clean Coyote swapped silver, I believe it's a 96 or 97 SN95 that looks super clean, and it's owned by Andy Howard, who's actually pretty local to Virginia, but he lives a couple hours away. But he has a couple badass cars. But when you get into the interior of this car, it's kind of bleh. They have the ones that I hate. They have the red carpet and the red seats. I don't know why Ford did that. It's god awful. They did it with the Fox Body too. They even have ones that I've seen one, I don't know if it's custom or not. It was a white SN95 like this, and it had white seats and all white plastic interior. I was like, that thing is ugly. Now, the suspension on these cars is kind of like the interior. From 94 to 04, they all carry over pretty much, except for a small few things. What you would call this is the Fox Body platform from 79 to 04. A lot of people, like I did, if you go like aftermarket, you can get struts and shocks, and you can get the Fox Body ones because they're an inch shorter, and they kind of help with lowered cars a little bit. Now, this one still has the ugly 4x4 stance, and that will be corrected sooner or later. But I mean, being in the stock suspension, it's literally no difference between my car and this car steering wise. But suspension wise, of course, I have an entire aftermarket world of suspension, but it's really not that bad. It's you didn't buy this car to be super flashy. It's not your Ferrari or nothing. It's kind of just a really fun cruiser. It's got a little pep to it. I mean,
she throw you back a little.
Yeah, it's not that bad. The brakes aren't the best.
Oh no,
but
not at all.
that's like that's the pre-SN95. Like, and before anyone gets on the whole butthurt thing about a New Edge is not an SN95. An SN95 is actually this body style. Right. It was actually supposed to be called an SN9. I think SN95 2 or something like that for the New Edge. But people just call it a New Edge because it's just easier to distinguish, the rounded body style to the more squared, beefed up, kind of the edgy looking one. But overall, I love these cars. Is it the body style that people like? No. But is it a body style that is, definitely a remembrance? And what I mean by that is Ford went away with the whole idea of getting rid of the Mustang, and they stuck to it, and then this is what they developed. Now, Ford had like 4 or 5 different concepts. They even had one concept that looked like a Honda Civic. Like if we're a Honda Civic and we're just like if a Honda Civic and I guess like an Eagle Talon, like made a baby, that's what it would have been. Look it up. But this, you know, you can be on the fence about this body style of this car. And I like it. Would it be my number 1 choice? Probably not. But if you guys are in the market looking for one of these, you can do a lot to them. So I'm just gonna give you guys a little quick kind of like exhaust. She did move out. I'll give her that. She did want to go. So just from that like red light to going straight, and the car being an automatic, it revved all the way out to about 6,000. So I would think maybe 373 gears in this. The owner isn't sure, and I'm not sure, but we know it doesn't have stock gears in it. So Cedric has had this car for about 3 years, and he's been slowly putting it back together. And this car is going to be a project car on the channel from what we both agreed upon. And you know, anytime he ever gets something and he wants to make a video about it, we can do it. And overall, guys, I've covered pretty much everything about this car. I'm glad Ford stuck with the Mustang, as iconic as it is now. Definitely, the Mazda Pro was a whole bad idea. Like I said, I think it only stuck around for a couple years. And I mean, people hate this body style, or people either like this body style or love it. It has a cult following. Now, I would say people like the Fox body more and the New Edge body style more, but you gotta remember, guys, this body style is pretty much just came from the Fox. The Fox body platform literally was used for years, and the platform is used for drag racing because the live axle and everything, it's one of the best body styles you can, one of the best platforms you can do for these cars, and it's kind of that simple. But that's gonna do it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this kind of just little brief review of this car. This car is badass. It's a great color. It sounds great. It's got, you know, mods coming to it. So stick around for more content if you want to see more future videos on this car. And like I said, you either like it or you hate it for this body style. And I gotta say, I do like it, and I remember being in mine that I had for a couple years. So I will catch you guys in the next video. Make sure to share, sub, like, and make sure to smash that like button. And I'll see you in the next video. And to believe it or not, guys, only on the 1994 to 95 Mustang, the hood vents and these vents right here are functional. Any other ones on the 96 and the 98 besides the Cobra, I believe, and to the New Edge, like my side scoops, are not functional. Like, really can't see, but I can see my hands here through the honeycomb right here. And this is the tail light difference. I like the color. So there you go. Those are the distinguished things pretty much besides the 5.0 on the SN95 94 to 95.